This is episode number 12 of the Silver Track Extra.
Thanks for tuning in to the Silver Track Extra, your source for the best tips, tricks, and how-tos to dominate the security industry, helping you improve your business, win more contracts, and crush your competition. Here are your hosts, Chris Anderson and Johnny Page.
What's up, everybody? My name is Johnny Page, and I'm the co-host here of the Silver Track Extra, and today we're going to begin a multi-part series on customer retention strategies for the security industry. Before we get to that, first we're going to hear from our show sponsor, Paperless Proposal, but I wanted to remind all of our listeners that all of the content that we cover here in the audible version of the podcast is in much more detailed written format in the show notes section for this episode. So if you'll go to silvertracksoftware.com/12, you'll see all the show notes for episode number 12. Be sure to check that out. Of course, we love all the social media sharing, comments, and feedback and all that stuff. So keep that going. We're doing really, really well in iTunes. I think we're over 25 5-star ratings. So keep that up. Thank you guys so much for all the support. So without any further ado, we're going to head straight to our sponsors at Paperless Proposals and then jump right into the feature conversation.
Developed for mid to large security companies, Paperless Proposal is the #1 enterprise-level cloud-based proposal creation and management solution. Use it to create, send, track, and manage highly customized proactive or RFP proposals. Differentiate your company and win more business with this powerful proposal generation software that can include Office files, video, templates, pricing tools, CRM integration, and e-signature approval. Contact us for a free demo at www.paperlessproposal.com/silvertrack.
All right, everyone, welcome to our featured conversation here where we are going to discuss customer retention strategies that work in the security industry. Now, Chris, we've got several points, and this will roll into a multi-part series here. But today, the first thing that we're going to discuss is using a project manager to really help address the retention issues. Can you tell our audience a little bit about how you've used the project management tools in the past?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, this is an exciting topic for me because there's some really great tools that have come to market, because there's so much software out there. And one of the tools that I'm currently using right now is called Basecamp. And I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Again, it's Basecamp for listeners, basecamp.com. And it is a project tool where you can put a lot of different, not only different projects in, but you can set up tasks and you can set up this to sync with your calendar. So for an example, if there's a new project coming aboard, you have your operations person and then you have your sales manager, you can actually create a project and set some timelines where everybody's involved and connected via email. So whatever you're doing in one project, everybody's getting notified, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we've had incredible success with Basecamp, especially when we're going through like an onboarding process for us, which is very similar for the security guys as well, believe it or not. You're talking about a set process that's in place. There are certain things that have to get done when you're bringing on a new customer. And so having like a template for that and having to-dos that we can assign out to all of the necessary role players in that process really helps streamline the process and make sure that everything gets done. So, Chris, we came up with seven areas that using a project manager will help contribute to customer retention. So the first one that we came up with was just that your hard work gets noticed and that you're not being taken for granted, that it is in every little task. And of course, I think, we shouldn't assume that using a project management tool ties in the customer as well. So this is a tool you're using in conjunction with them. Now, there are certain things you can make visible or not visible, but you want to make sure that even the little stuff that you're doing, contributing to the overall goal, is put in the project manager so that your hard work doesn't go unnoticed, that it is seen by the customer.
Yeah, we want to show our client that we're working for them, right? We want to keep them in the loop. But again, we don't want to drive them crazy with emails because their day's already loaded. So what I like about the Basecamp and what we put together is not only a template, but a scheduled time to where you can follow up, right, when you need to, or your partner, whoever's involved in the project, can follow up. But it keeps the client just notified. They don't have to respond, but they're getting the email to let them know that, hey, there's a new project or something that's been completed in the Basecamp operation. So it's on the backside. So it's not necessarily overloading their email, but they know you're working on it. And that's a good feeling.
Yeah, and this is a separate place. It doesn't always have to go to their email, but this is a place where they can log in and they can see everything that's happening. So it's not that you have to make all the little tasks known to them, like saying, hey, did you see that I did this? Did you see that we did that? It's not like that. You're just recording all that information in the project manager, making it available. So at the end of the month, if they wonder, hey, why am I paying this much money? Is there really a justification for all this cost? You actually have the project manager to back up all the hard work that goes into it so it doesn't get taken for granted. Absolutely. Area number 2, the project manager helps you set clear expectations. So it provides more accountability on both ends, both for you as a provider and for the customer, Chris.
Yeah. And John, again, we talked about the accountability at both ends, but the other problem when I was dealing with customers is that I would try to put tools together to show the accountability. A lot of times, maybe they didn't get the email, and nobody wants to be called a liar, right? When you're talking about communicating. So again, what I liked about the project is that it's a normal process. It's a routine, right? So when you set up this routine with your customer, they know that you've got the Basecamp operation running. They're being notified. It kind of keeps everybody accountable, if that makes sense. So it just kind of eliminates the question if anybody got it, right? Because there's one source to go to.
Yeah, exactly. And so the area number 3, which we touched on this, is it offers better communication. There's a distinct advantage over email in that we're not fighting with the rest of their day, right? They have an operation of their own that they're running. So when security comes in, it's not always going to be the most important thing. However, when it is the most important thing, they can go straight to Basecamp or whatever project management tool you're using, and they can see exactly where things left off, what's in process, what still needs to be done, and all that. So it's a really distinct advantage over email and really offers a lot better communication.
Yeah, and you need to, in the very beginning of the service contract, you need to explain to them what Basecamp is and what the operation and what they're allowed to do. And, so in other words, keep them informed. Let them know what Basecamp does, what the operation does, and they don't need to necessarily participate or respond to it, but you're just letting them know what's going on in the project. Peace of mind.
Yeah, and area number 4 that this helps contribute is that it offers better efficiency in delivering your services. So project management helps kind of establish a roadmap that's easily followed and leads to better project completion. You've established a set process, and you're making sure that milestones are hit, that they're completed on time, and nothing slips through the cracks. So it's a reason where it's a tool that we can use to avoid a lot of the bumps, the potholes, the issues, the bumps and bruises that can come up in a onboarding process or even in project management in general, that really helps contribute to better efficiency when you're delivering those services.
Yeah, and what I liked about it, again, one portal, one site, you're eliminating phone calls, a bunch of emails, everybody's directed to one location.
Area number 5, this helps contribute to your customer retention strategy, is time saving. And that's, Chris, there's not enough can be said. There's not a lot of running around back and forth. There's one area where you can go and you're making sure that every little thing is getting done. Improved efficiency, communication, which will lead to better execution.
It covers it all. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so area number 6, this offers a competitive edge. If you go into the office when you're going through your proposal and saying that you have this process laid out, that you have a separate area where you communicate directly with your customer, it offers you a competitive edge. It shows that you're intentional about the details. You're detail-oriented. You're focused on really delivering the desired outcome, and you have a plan in place for doing so.
And it gives you the technical advantage. We're going in today and we're showing them the real-time reporting, and everybody's so impressed with that. Wow, you guys gone paperless. You're using tools to streamline our operation and save us time and all that. So, when you bring that down to your sales operation and use it as a communication tool, you're just adding to the mix.
The 7th area in which a project management tool will help contribute to your customer retention strategy is that it will build confidence and trust with your customer over time. Over time, you're proving that you are hitting deadlines, you're meeting the requests as they've been set forth by your customer, and it eliminates any type of doubt. So when it comes time for contract renewal, you've got a long history of satisfying their needs and exceeding their expectations. And there's not enough can be said for that, Chris. Over time, having tangible evidence that you have built trust and confidence with your customer.
And we needed to do that. When I had my operation, I needed to make sure that everybody on my team, because there's several people involved in setting up contracts, I had to make sure that everybody across the board was obviously using the tool, setting the proper dates and times to get the jobs done, right? And I needed to be able to view that when I had time to view it. And they have the same opportunity. So absolutely does build confidence.
So I want to just give one quick story here on how a project manager can help avoid some pitfalls and really help you improve your customer retention. So at SilverTrack, I work on on the marketing side and on the customer success, but one of my main focuses is on marketing, and we were actually working with a third-party company in doing that. So I was helping manage a relationship. Well, this was a while back, and we ended up parting ways, and there wasn't a project management tool effectively in place. And what I realized is a couple months later, I found a lot of work that had actually been done by this marketing agency that I wasn't aware of while we were actually in an agreement. And had I been aware of that, it may have altered the way that we continued to proceed together. That contract may have stayed in place, but we terminated the agreement because we weren't really aware of everything they were doing. So that's something that you don't want to have happen with your business. So a lot of times we assume that our client knows all the hard work that's going into the project. We don't want to make that mistake because there could be really high effort things that you're putting in place that they may be unaware of or they may take for granted. So there's a lot of benefits. We went over 7 today. We could probably go on for even more, Chris, but in a nutshell, I think this is one strategy that our customers can really put in place very easily that will help contribute to their customer retention.
Absolutely. And again, you guys out there, take a look at Basecamp. It's been an absolute wonderful tool for us and it's pretty low cost. Would you agree, John?
Oh, yeah. I think you get like 60 days for free and then it goes, I'm not sure what the last price is, where it depends on the number of projects you're managing, but it's extremely low cost. I mean, I think it could be like $10 a month, $10 or $15 a month, something really low like that. So yeah, definitely worth looking into.
Yeah, great tool.
Well, SilverTrack Nation, that does it for episode number 12 here on the SilverTrack Extra. We sincerely appreciate you tuning in. If you can do me a favor, I would love it if you would check out the show notes section on our website for episode number 12. You can do that by visiting silvertracksoftware.com/12, just the number 12, 12, and share our episode across social media. We're trying to grow the audience here. We really believe we're offering quality content. We've had amazing feedback from those of you who are listening, but I'd love to get this into the hands of even more security professionals out there so that we can increase the quality of the content we're offering here on the show and increase our platform here collectively. So that does it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.